Hey there, hi there, ho there, guys. What is up? What is up? It's been a little bit of some time, a little over 24 hours or so, but we're back once again, and this time to discuss Season 5 Reloaded. Yeah, I almost said Battlefield 6. That's coming in too. That's coming in too. Don't you worry. And just how desperate Call of Duty is becoming, just how desperate Activision is becoming, and even you could say Treyarch as well. Now, Battlefield 6 had its announcement and everything, and it took everybody by surprise. But it took everybody by surprise even more that it's actually extremely fun and easy to jump into. Now, it's never been like super user friendly, casual friendly, I suppose you could say. It's always been one of those games that's been like very team oriented, and you kind of have to know exactly like what kind of game it is to jump into it. It was always seen as more realistic than Call of Duty, more large scale, all that jazz. Call of Duty players were seen as like inferior arcade shooter kind of guys. And you know what? Like that's fine. That's fine because this year doesn't matter. Gloves are off. Call of Duty finally does not have the luxury of being the sole FPS game that's releasing this year, large scale multiplayer game that's a mil sim, as many people were expecting. And just as with every year prior that this has happened, it's done a very good thing and put the heat on. Because yes, Call of Duty is more than likely going to sell buku once again, as it always does, but for the first time in a few years, pre-order sales are actually down. And that's to no one's surprise just because of the way that the game looks. It's honestly a little more surprising that they thought that they could show off what they showed off at their first initial look for the world to see and expect that they could get anything other than what they've gotten so far. A bunch of dislikes on the trailer. Nobody watching the 19-minute VOD that they released that talks about the zombies, the multiplayer, the campaign. All they looked at was the campaign trailer. And can you blame them? Within the trailer, it obviously shows that this is a futuristic Call of Duty. It shows that this Call of Duty potentially has double jumping, has like skyrocket jumping essentially, has wall running, has wall jumping, has futuristic gadgets, all this other stuff, invisible tech and whatnot. And people are just tired of it. They're played out, you know. Nobody wants to have this gimmicky stuff in it anymore. Not to mention all of the bad stuff that's going to be coming from the aftermarket, where they're going to be selling us these cartoony skins with all of this different gameplay that's going to be just something that nobody wants anymore. They're tired of it, you know, and I can honestly say I am too. One of my favorite Call of Duties was Black Ops 3. Probably in the top 5 was definitely Advanced Warfare, but that was just like a different time period. Advanced Warfare shook up the game. It was really fun because it was unique and different. Black Ops 3 perfected, I think, the 3 Call of Duties that were the double jumping Call of Duties. But, you know, you can't deny the fact that everybody had Call of Duty fatigue after Infinite Warfare. If I'm not mistaken, Infinite Warfare was one of the worst selling Call of Duties of all time. Only sold a good amount because it came with that Modern Warfare remastered that had multiplayer within it. They knew what they were doing, because if they would have released Infinite Warfare as just Infinite Warfare, it was downhill. Completely downhill. And unfortunately, they did not learn their lesson, because the Call of Duty that was right after that was Black Ops 4. Sans the double jumping, but it still had all of the specialists and all of the futuristic tech and everything that Black Ops 3 had. It was essentially Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 2 together minus a campaign. And that's fine, you know, be that as it may. The hindsight's 2020. Everybody wants to say that this COD was great, that COD was bad, you know, that COD was great now, this COD is bad. It's always a flip-flop thing. The COD that's out right now is terrible, but in 5 years it's going to be perfect, and it's going to be the top echelon of what games should be. Just like how they do it every single year, especially with zombies. Don't even get me started on that, because people are trying to say that everybody was about the Black Ops 4 zombies, but I have been playing COD, you know, relatively consistently throughout the years, and Black Ops 4 was played by almost nobody. It's insane. But be that as it may, we're here to talk about just how desperate they're getting, because Battlefield 6 is stirring up the pot. in ways that are, unexpected. They're already going off to say that they're not going to have, funny, gimmicky costumes for the characters. They're going to have nothing but milsim characters. They're going to have a battle pass, which is certainly new. A lot of us are kind of tired of that too, but hey, if they do it right, they do it right. And let's hope that they do, because we really need it to get Call of Duty back in line. And who's to say how this year is going to turn out? But they're really doing everything correct. They're adding destruction back to the game. They're making it more realistic. They're making it more modern. It looks phenomenal. Don't even get me started on how it looks, because it looks insane even in the game. And not to mention, it is not a nightmare to run on PC. My PC ran it perfect on ultra settings, and I don't have the best PC. I can barely run Call of Duty Warzone on the lowest settings. So let's not even get started on that part of it. That it's already going to knock the wheels off the boat with that one. But furthermore, Call of Duty has taken course to try and correct all of this out of fear by making us log in, not making us, but allowing us to log in and giving us 20 free tier skips for the battle pass and 15 hours of double XP. That's 5 hours for the battle pass, 5 hours for weapons, and 5 hours for your levels. Now, me personally, that just shows that it is, the login numbers are getting pretty low and getting pretty scary for them if they're offering these kinds of things just to get people to log in and play, give them incentives. And they're obviously going back to their CIA tactics of saying like, oh, well, if we give them this, that, and the other, we make the lobby easier, we make it a little harder, we make it a little easier, they'll stay around, do this, that, the other, and psychoanalyzing their audience to try and keep them around as long as possible. It's absurd, okay? But it's getting so obvious that it's genuinely sad, because I'm gonna be real. I bought the Black Cell this season. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more fun. I only bought it because I bought all the other ones. Yes, I know I'm a shill. I give all of my money to Activision. It's mostly because I'm a whore to get that high level, and they have that extra XP. This upcoming season, I'm not gonna be doing it though. So I guess you can say I'm healed. I've seen the light. But anywho, that's not here nor there. People like me who actually played at the start of the season, it took me like 10 days to finish the Easter egg. I pretty much finished the whole battle pass by doing the Easter egg. And they're giving us these 20 tier skips just for logging in that are not going to carry forward to Season 6. They're not going to really matter to anybody. There's no incentive for somebody that has already played the season and already had it, die out for them. But they're going to try and get people to log in, and then what? The game's not changing. This game, it's been out for almost a year. It's at the end of its life cycle. You had all of the chances that we could have given you, like you could have done the weekly challenges. You could have done the mid-season camos. You could have done the weekly or bi-weekly attachments to change up guns like they did in Modern Warfare 3, or the events every 3 or 4 days to give us in-game items for free, or, like you've done, add a battle pass to each other fucking event that you've had so you can try and milk money out of every single person as much as you can possibly. It's almost like every time Sledgehammer comes in, they nail it, and then Treyarch has to come in and try and milk everything that they've done perfectly to try and get as many dollars out of them as possible. It's just sad, and it's desperate at this point. The numbers are down. They're not going to be up. The pre-orders are down. Sure, the game's going to sell a lot, but as soon as that first 2 or 3 months hits, and then you get the spike from Christmas, after that, man, it's going to be the same shit over and over again. I can already see it. I hope that this year's a little different because of Battlefield. And I hope that Activision finally gets their shit together. But we all know that they won't. We've been talking about this for years. That's really all I've got for you guys today. Make sure you guys drop a like, hit me with a subscribe, hit me with some comments down below. I'll be sure to reply to all of you as best as I can. I appreciate you stopping by. Come back tomorrow for another video, for another daily dose of the cheesy burrito. That's right. And peace.